The conversation anytime, WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Wherever you are, how did you spend your pretty weekend? But unfortunately, today is a sobering reminder of strife and scary situations in other parts of the world. On this October 7th, there are creative people who are using fiber art to bring people together and keep the conversation going about the hostages in Gaza. And WTMJ's Jessica Gatso has an inspiring story of Stitch Them Home, a crafting project that is happening right now. That's next on WTMJ.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Happy fall! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. You know, my wife wants to redo the whole living room. Not sure what we're doing for furniture, but I do know where we're going to buy it. Built Right, just a few miles from our home on the south side. Built Right's 96th anniversary celebration and $1 million clearance sell-off is on now. All about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. Third and fourth generation family members in the store working with their amazing team with more than 400 years experience. Be ready for your holiday guests with thousands of items in stock plus 500 mattresses and custom orders. They're faster in 2024. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, USA made, small scale, Amish made, real solid wood, more than 55 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services. Built Right always saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Here on What's on Tap, we talk about culture and creativity in Wisconsin and around the world. And you know, I believe that art creates connection. And that can be connection of all kinds. It could be connections to your emotions, whether you're really happy to hear a song or whether you're really stunned by some photo. Sometimes art creates a connection to other people. And art can create conversations, which is important to lead to understanding and even problem solving, or just simply help cope in difficult and devastating times. And you've probably heard around news and social media that today is October 7th, 1 year since Hamas attacked Israel in really a proudly brutal way, just shocking. And in that one day, 1,200 people died, the largest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, and hundreds are still held hostage, their well-being not even known. And I wish I had the answers to stop the horrifying violence that has continued in the past 365 days. But I do know that there is hope for resolutions as people continue to care about the situation. And we do have people here in Wisconsin who do.
I try to create order out of chaos with yarn.
101 hand-knit yellow ribbons hang from fences at Milwaukee's Jewish Community Center today, one for each hostage who remains in Hamas captivity. Maureen Luddy helped coordinate the project called Stitch Them Home. She says the cause is not just for the Jewish community, but for everyone.
It's important to remember that the people that were kidnapped, raped, killed, and included Christians, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, and Hindus.
At the end of today's remembrance event, people will be invited to symbolically rescue a hostage by cutting down a ribbon and taking it home. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And WTMJ's Jessica Gatso in the studio with me now to share more about this story. Just how did you find out about Stitch Them Home?
It was a sort of a collaborative effort here in the newsroom. I believe it was Vince who sent me over an email that Maureen was interested in sort of doing an interview about this project that was happening today. And so I spoke with her last night, and the project is ongoing. I believe their commemoration event is probably wrapping up right about now this evening.
And to see 101 of these stitched, crocheted. I know crocheted knitters can sometimes, want you to get your terminology right, but they do look like you envision a ribbon, like an AIDS ribbon or a Bring Them Home ribbon. Like it is that shape.
Yep. But made of yarn.
Yes. Yep. And to see them hanging on an iron fence in spread out, it really does make that impact of, that's a lot. That's a lot of ribbons representing people.
Yeah, and the bright yellow color, you can definitely see by the photos that it really stands out.
Yeah, on the WTMJ YouTube live stream, you can see what these yarn ribbons look like. Text WATCH, WATCH, to the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. You can always watch along on the WTMJ YouTube live stream. And it really does, it's eye-catching. And again, like I said, art is, one of its purposes is to stimulate conversation and even uncomfortable conversations.
Yes, that's exactly what Maureen Luddy was expressing to me when I spoke with her last night. She's a member of Milwaukee's Jewish community, and she told me a little bit about what sort of inspired the idea behind this project.
The idea of the project is to show support for the hostages being held and to bring attention to the world to work to bring them home by knitting yellow ribbons, one for each of the hostages. They'll be displayed on a wire fence outside of the Jewish Community Center on Santa Monica, and there will be a rally being held in the evening to commemorate and remember the people that died on October 7th and to work to bring home the hostages.
And another interesting part of this, I thought, is the idea that this isn't going to stay up past today. They're actually going to be taking down those ribbons in a very symbolic way, really.
And what did you learn more about that process?
Yeah, I kind of alluded to it in that clip you played earlier, but I think people who are participating in this sort of ceremony tonight will be able to go up and cut off a ribbon themselves and bring it home to kind of symbolize them rescuing a single hostage.
And keeping their memory alive.
Keeping that alive.
Keeping that hope alive. My goodness. And I feel like it's one of those things where people want to be helpful. How can I be useful? So when someone has knitting as this skill, as this craft, and it's one way to express themselves and to also bring people together.
Yeah, and this is not the first time that Luddy says she's been involved in doing specifically fiber work with art to express some sort of honor of the situation.
The project itself was started by the Beautifully Jewish group which is an offshoot of the Unorthodox podcast of Tablet Magazine, and was created by a fiber artist named Sarah Divvy, and Tanya Singer were people behind it. And I had been knitting ribbons that were installed in other installations in New York. Right now, there are 4 people that have helped to knit ribbons. I got 20 from other people. I'm doing the other 81, so there'll be the total of 101 ribbons.
I think she told me she was up until something like 5 a.m. finishing up these ribbons.
Can you imagine?
Knitting all 80 of them herself. I was like, wow, that takes some talent and focus.
And commitment, because I think a lot of us were just like, I'm sure at some point she probably thinks it's the least I can do.
Of course.
To honor these people who are missing, and you just hold out that hope. But what a wonderful way to bring people together and bring attention to the matter, because it's a lot of times, there are people who are saying, yeah, but the Ukrainian war is still going on, and all the focus shifts on other world events and other world problems. So this is one of those ways to, I think, also help families realize that other people care about these hostages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, togetherness was another aspect of our conversation I really appreciated, and how the focus is not just for the 101 hostages, it's for everyone who's been impacted by the war on the front lines, in the fighting, and beyond into other conflicts that are happening simultaneously.
Art to the rescue, art to the rescue, but again, to help people cope and help bring people together. So I love that you now have a new crafter contact through Stitch Them Home, and we can find out what other projects that Beautifully Jewish and Ms. Luddy wind up doing to help keep these things going. And I would love to know if anybody did go and participate in the ceremony and gets a ribbon. if that's meaningful and how that experience was, because I know there's another gathering tonight at the Jewish Community Center that I think you had to pre-register, but I think it was absolutely full because people are coming together in this awful time.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for reporting. Thank you for bringing more to the story. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We'll hear Jessica Gatzo with the news at 6:30. And next, a way to show your Packers pride and win prizes. That's on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren, but prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
We found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded. At Semper Fi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
That'll perk you up on a Monday night. Bang on the drum, one of the best songs to hear at Lambeau Field, or just anytime the Packers are winning. Yay! Some people can breathe easier now that we see Jordan Love and on the field, and Packers getting a big win yesterday. And the Green Bay Packers want to treat you to tickets to see the Packers-Bears game when they play at Lambeau. Can you do it? It's the Packers Fan Choice Awards. They've been doing this for 11 years now. It's the 12th annual. And all you have to do, upload a photo, and then people all around Wisconsin will vote to see if you are the big winner in 4 different categories. So if you want to try this out, PackersEverywhere.com is the website to go to. And the 4 different categories are Proudest Packers Kid. Now, those are going to be some cute photos. Proudest Packers Kid. Second category, Greatest Packers Everywhere Vacation. So I think if you've got your jersey on and you're standing right next to a volcano, that could be a good photo, or just hanging out on the beach. There's many options there. So Greatest Packers Everywhere Vacation. I like the third one, Best Tailgating Party. That's a great idea. But the thing is, though, if you submit the group of you tailgating together, and you win, then you got to pick the one person to go to the Packers-Bears game with you at Lambeau. So Proudest Packers Kid, Greatest Packers Everywhere Vacation, Best Tailgating Party, and last category is Strongest Game Day Fit. I think that's open for interpretation. But the nomination period closes on Wednesday, and the finalists for each category will be posted on Saturday. And then that's when the voting goes for 2 weeks, from October 14th to October 28th. But as they say, you got to be in it to win it. So submit your photo for the Packers Fan Choice Awards, PackersEverywhere.com. Fan-Choice-Awards-2024. But trust me, when you go to PackersEverywhere.com, just look for the Packers Fan Choice Awards and have some fun. Scroll through your phone right now. I bet you've got at least one photo that qualifies for each of these categories. Proudest Packers kid, greatest Packers everywhere vacation, best tailgating party, and strongest game day fit for your chance to go cheer on the Packers against the Bears at Lambeau Field. It's fun to not be blown out. And you know what else is fun? I'm going to be snarky for just a second. When I found out that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets were going back to London, I was like, boy, I hope he loses again in London. And he did, just wearing a different jersey. So London is not Aaron Rodgers' good luck charm. But honestly, I don't even think about him anymore. Now that we had such a great season last year with Jordan Love and such optimism, and now Jordan Love on the mend from his knee injury, optimism reigns. So PackersEverywhere.com. Enter the Fan Choice Awards. I wish you very good luck. And I want to also tell you that there is a movie that was filmed in Wisconsin, brand new, and it has the 1993 Packers team as part of the storyline. And you will learn more about that coming up on What's on Tap just after... just after 7 o'clock. That's when we'll share that Packers movie info. But right now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Sandy. 3 people are hurt after an accident during the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon. The crash happened Sunday along a closed road on the race route in Cudahy. Cudahy police say a 68-year-old Waterford woman was traveling southbound on Lake Drive when she had a medical emergency, sideswiped a car, then hit another car. A 65-year-old Cudahy man was in one of those vehicles. His car flipped onto its side near the tree line east of Lake Drive and Henry Avenue. The woman then hit a 28-year-old marathon runner. All 3 people were taken to a hospital. No word on their conditions. 2 people are dead after a house fire in Spring Prairie. The Walworth County Sheriff and Lyons firefighters responded just before 5:30 p.m. on Saturday to the blaze at Highway 11. 58-year-old Bradley Chapman and 83-year-old Sylvia Chapman were found on the second floor, which was fully engulfed in flames. Firefighters rescued them, but both died at the scene. One firefighter was also treated at the scene for minor injuries. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A visit from the White House and a visit from the Democratic presidential ticket coming to Wisconsin this week. President Biden will be in Milwaukee on Tuesday with a focus on the progress replacing lead pipes and creating good-paying jobs. No details on the event timing or location. First Lady of Minnesota Gwen Walz heads to Beloit and Madison on Wednesday, speaking to voters about reproductive rights and the economy. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving, time saver traffic. Looks like we still have that closure to look out for in Racine County. That's on Highway 164. Both northbound and southbound lanes are all closed at Gavin Drive due to a crash. Again, that's at Highway 164 in Racine County. And taking a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mainly clear skies and cool temperatures, a low of 46. Tuesday, sunny with a high of 67. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 67 by the lake and 73 inland. Thursday, sunny with a high of 70 by the lake and 74 inland. On Friday, mostly sunny again with a high of 78. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 59 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:32.
The news you need to know.
Baldwin leaves Hovde 53 to 47% among likely and registered voters.
Well, you won't see Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin beginning next season.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
So I am to believe that is one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So she's got ties to Milwaukee.
This was huge for Milwaukee, and I didn't realize how much Milwaukee was going to be profiled in this episode. It was all about Milwaukee.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Hi, I'm Dewey Strobel. When I learned that 1 in 7 Wisconsinites struggle with literacy and that only 13% of elementary students at our state's largest school district read at grade level, I knew we had to do something. Reading is the #1 building block for learning, and our kids were falling behind. So I introduced and passed a bipartisan literacy bill to develop a proven phonics-based curriculum and give schools the resources they need to implement it. Teaching our kids to read isn't partisan. I worked with elected officials from both sides of the aisle to get this bill signed into law by Governor Evers. Because to keep our state moving forward, we have to make sure our kids have the tools they need to be successful. I'm Dewey Strobel, and when Wisconsin is facing serious issues, you can count on me to cut through the partisan gridlock and deliver results for you and your family. I'd be honored to earn your vote for State Senate this November. Paid for by Dewey for Senate.
When you work with us, you'll know what you're going to get. And most importantly, you'll know exactly what you're going to pay us to list and sell your home. Talk to any Benefit Realty agent and ask about our commission. You will always get the same answer. You may find that others aren't ready to be as straightforward as we are right off the bat. They may try to meet with you first, and from there, you'll probably have to haggle your commission. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get them to reduce their commission to what we charge. But who wants that? Benefit Realty is going to make this easy for you with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. And we even one-up it from there. We cap our commission so that no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale, your savings will be substantial. And if you're selling a luxury portfolio kind of home, substantial is an understatement. And finally, if you're not happy at any time with the service you're getting, we won't hold you to the term of your contract. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Concert announcements today. If you like comedy, you're in luck. Hot off the press, a couple of shows coming to town at Miller High Life Theater. Comedy with Joe Coy. Now, if you're going, how do I know that name? I saw him in Chicago, almost 20 years ago now. So I remember him as he was that funny at Zanies in Chicago 20 years ago. Kept my eye on him. He wound up being on the Chelsea Handler show a lot and dated her. Now they're not together. But I'm like, yay, you go, Joe Coy. When you got hired to be the host for the Golden Globes, I was so excited for you, Joe Coy. If you remember, he didn't do such a great job, and people were not blown away by Joe Coy on the Golden Globes earlier this year. But that being said, I'd say give him a chance. It's a different environment when you're just doing stand-up, not on TV in front of millions and millions of people, in front of, and the Golden Globes are like the celebrity party where they're all getting tipsy and mingling. So I would think that's a tough crowd. But I was like, oh, poor Joe Coy. But if you want to see him and have some fun with some comedy, March 1st at Miller High Life Theater. The description is his Just Being Coy tour, and his uniquely relatable comedy pulls inspiration from his colorful family that has reached all kinds of people and translated into sold-out shows around the world. And if you go to Pabst Theater Group is where you buy those tickets, and those tickets will go on sale Thursday. But have a laugh. Joe Coy, March 1st, Miller High Life Theater. And the other announcement, one of the other announcements today, there were three, Alton Brown. I love watching him cooking and blending science with cooking. And I saw him speak at Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, probably 20 years ago, too. And he's just so engaging and fun. And I always enjoyed his TV shows. They always had a different, if he was going to open the oven, the camera's inside the oven. He's just a very clever, entertaining man. And here's what's wild. He's on the farewell tour, maybe. His Last Bite Alton Brown live tour is coming April 26th to the Riverside Theater, but it's a variety show. It's not just him telling you recipes. He sings some funny food songs. He gives you some culinary hacks so you can be better in the kitchen, and it just sounds like a lot of fun. A night of culinary spectacle and delight. Alton Brown Live, Last Bite, April 26th at the Riverside Theater, and those tickets go on sale on Friday at 10 a.m. And also announced is a comedian who you might recognize from the TV show Better Call Saul. His name is Joe DeRosa, and he's doing fine. He's got an accomplished career. 6 top 10 charting stand-up albums. He's got 2 podcasts, We'll See You in Hell and Taste Buds. And producer Max seems to think that Joe DeRosa would be worth going to see. You've enjoyed him on his podcast?
Yeah, so he is sometimes, one of my favorite comedians is Bill Burr, who I feel like more people would be familiar with. He's a frequent guest on that show. He goes back to the days with Opie and Anthony, who had a great comedy radio show on Sirius XM. And those guys all go way back. So he's been around for a while. He's a really funny guy. And it's funny that you mentioned he's on Better Call Saul, which is a show that has Bill Burr. It has a lot of comedians in that show.
Well, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah,
of course,
a great
obviously.
comedy writer and performer, yeah.
Brilliant, obviously. So he's in that show, which is one of my favorite shows ever. The whole Breaking Bad universe is amazing. So, yeah, he's a great comedian and definitely worth seeing.
He's playing at the new venue for Pabst Theater Group, the Vivarium, on the East Side. And that will be Saturday, February 22nd, Joe DeRosa at Vivarium. His tour is called I Never Promised a Rose Garden Tour. Maybe he'll sing some country music. So those are new shows announced today. Joe Coy, March 1st, Miller High Life Theater. Now that is March 1st, 2025. Funny to see that in writing. Alton Brown Live, his farewell tour, maybe last bite. He is saying he's going to take a break after this, even if this isn't his final show. But he's 62 now. Maybe he wants to sort of retire. But Alton Brown Live, April 26th, 2025 at the Riverside Theater. And comedian Joe DeRosa, February 22nd at Vivarium. Update your concert calendars accordingly. And if you like to rock, or you just like movies about music, I haven't had a chance to say Rocktober in a while. Milwaukee Film has a Rocktober series that I think will pique your interest. I'll tell you what's playing next on What's on Tap.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
So he throws on a costume, moves the drop box, never discussed it with the actual administrator of elections.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
So you're going to take the law into your own hands and remove it yourself. That's nothing but, in my mind, pure vandalism, and he should have been charged.
Jim?
And the hard hat doesn't legitimize it either, right?
Wearing costumes doesn't make you look more important.
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4Feldco.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
Happy October, or when I used to work in classic rock radio, usually had a Rocktober feature of some sort. So when I saw that Milwaukee Film, among many different series that they have put together for our entertainment, like Bite Club for Halloween movies and documentary films in time for the election, they also have Rocktober. So you can see not just films, but also some musical performances. And tomorrow night at 7 o'clock is a documentary that I am bummed that I missed. And I'll miss it again because I'll be here with you tomorrow night. But maybe you'll hear me when you're on your way to see this documentary. It is about Brian Eno, who is an amazing producer and a wide range of producing. Like, he has produced Devo, he's produced U2. More recently, he produced Coldplay. So this is a man who has certainly been around the creative process and created some of the most influential music that has been on the radio and been in our speakers. And if you want a chance to see this, it is playing tomorrow night at 7 at the Oriental Theater. I think you'll be fascinated. And he's one of those forward-thinking producers, using technology, but always having the human element of the band there. So Rocktober at the Oriental Theater tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Oriental Theater. But it's not just modern music that Rocktober films are spotlighting. There are also going to be 2 silent films. Phantom of the Opera Friday night with the Wurlitzer live organ accompaniment, which is anytime you can be in that 1920s building with the 1920s organ, it really brings a movie to life, and it brings those good vibrations. This is a little bit of what it will sound like. Doesn't that just feel like Halloween as well? So Friday night at 7, Phantom of the Opera with the live organ accompaniment. And another silent film that you can see at the Oriental Theater on October 26th. This is an interesting idea. It's called Silence Synced. So you know how you can play Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz? Nosferatu, the very disturbing and creepy old silent film with Radiohead. So I think that would be very interesting. So that's October 26th at 4 p.m. Silence Synced presents Nosferatu and Radiohead. And then on Halloween, Claudio Simonetti's Goblin performing a live score to the film Demons. Now, see, this goes deep. I am not into the horror genre. I respect it as an art form, but it just, it'll leave a mark on me. But it says, composer Claudio Simonetti has written and recorded some of the most influential scores and soundtracks in horror. Dawn of the Dead is one of them. And it's fascinating to me that it's a 1985 classic called Demons, and it's going to be a live performance of the score set to the screening of the movie. So instead of the organ, it's going to be a band playing the music as the film. I just think it's a great way to bring a movie to life and literally kind of put that breath into it. And there will be an additional performance of quintessential Goblin material and best of songs and scores to set their cinematic counterparts. So Milwaukee Film really bringing some different, interesting, unconventional, creative experiences to us. So Rocktober, Eno, tomorrow night, Phantom of the Opera with the organ on Friday the 11th, Silence Synced with Nosferatu and Radiohead. That's October 26th. And then Halloween night, you can just go all in a movie palace at the Oriental. Claudio Simonetti's Goblin performing a live score to the movie Demons. Creative collaborations that I wouldn't have even thought of. So thanks to Milwaukee Film for making it happen. We have a true Wisconsin legend coming to town Friday night. Miller High Life Theater. He is Les Paul's grandson. He's a collaborator with Sir Paul McCartney, and he is going to be in Milwaukee at Miller High Life Theater on Friday. If you have never seen him, put him on your bucket list. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know, all will be revealed with the song you need to hear next on What's on Tap.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
The news you need to know.
Baldwin leaves Hubdy 53 to 47% among likely and registered voters.
Well, you won't see Brewers baseball on Bally Sports Wisconsin beginning next season.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
So I'm to believe that is one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So she's got ties to Milwaukee.
This was huge for Milwaukee, and I didn't realize how much Milwaukee was going to be profiled in this episode. It was all about Milwaukee.
On Wisconsin's Midday News. Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
The godson of Les Paul and an incredible Rock and Roll Hall of Fame musician, Steve Miller, is going to be back in Milwaukee Friday night. Miller High Life Theater, a great venue to see him. Last time I saw him was Summerfest a couple of years ago, and incredible. He hasn't lost any of his musicianship, any of his just vibrance on stage, and ranges everywhere from, of course, good old classic rock to blues. Don't sleep on Steve Miller. He's an excellent musician, and he is bringing his music to Miller High Life Theater Friday night, and you know he will play this one. Song you need to hear, Fly Like an Eagle. Steve Miller Band on What's on Tap.
Slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution. Feed the babies who don't have enough to eat. Shoe the children with no shoes on their feet. House the people living in the street. Oh, there's a solution. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Right through the revolution. Time keeps on slipping into the future. 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 slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future.
The song that inspired Seal to do a song for the movie Space Jam. It's Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller Band, and you can see Steve Miller himself performing that Friday night, Miller High Life Theater, and he is... he may not love being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you remember, he had some real salty words for the Rock Hall after he was inducted, but he deserves to be in there. He's masterful at the guitar. His godfather, his godfather was Les Paul himself, and actually got to noodle around and play when he was a kid with Les Paul. So that's a pretty good start, and he has not slowed down. Saw him at Summerfest. Saw him actually at Ravinia in Chicago. I keep saying 20 years ago. I guess I've been doing this for a while. About 20 years ago, and there's a concert film from that show, and he's just always spectacular. And I always joke a little bit, you never know when it's your last chance to see a legend. So when Steve Miller's back in his home state of Wisconsin, you got to think it's going to be a good show and get there early, because another Wisconsin legend, Paul Seabar, is going to open. It's going to be a one heck of a night of music. Friday night, Miller High Life Theater. And if you needed more fun reasons to be charmed by Steve Miller, if you remember, he went to UW-Madison. He's got some Badger blood in him. And boy, of all the times he's performed here in Wisconsin, I still remember 2018, he performed just outside of Lambeau Field, a free show to kick off the Packers celebration season that year. So Steve Miller, think about all the songs that you know and can sing along to. Take the Money and Run, Rockin' Me. I remember when I graduated, I went to the Gym, which was a bar on Wisconsin Avenue, and I wanted to, not on Wisconsin, on Wells, and I played Rockin' Me 3 times in a row on the jukebox and annoyed other people, but that was like my celebration song. I dug that a lot. Fly Like an Eagle, The Joker, Abracadabra, lots of music to enjoy. Steve Miller, Miller High Life Theater, Friday night. Back with news next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
So he throws on a costume, moves the drop box, never discussed it with the actual administrator of elections.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
So you're going to take the law into your own hands and remove it yourself. That's nothing but, in my mind, pure vandalism, and he should have been charged.
Jim?
And the hard hat doesn't legitimize it either, right?
Wearing costumes doesn't make you look more important.
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women, even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without any major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
The Brewers and the Bucks have been closely watching this Valley Sports parent company because fans want to know how they're going to continue to watch these games.
Entertainment.
Ryan Turek, Vice President of Feature Film Development for Blumhouse.
That movie really connected with audiences because it felt like it could happen to you.
And more every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 58 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear and cool, a low of 46. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. Another powerful storm, Milton, is expected to hit Florida late Wednesday or early Thursday, with forecasters warning it could be the worst storm to hit the Tampa area in over a century. Much of Florida is under a state of emergency with the potential for a 15-foot surge of seawater, prompting evacuations. This as the Southeast is still recovering from the devastating impacts of Helene a week and a half ago. Climate scientists warn storms will only get worse if planet-warming fossil fuel use continues at current levels. Israelis are marking a year since the deadliest attack in the country's history. Rabbi Jacob Herber tells WTMJ's Political Power Hour the most hurtful part of remembering that day.
I think that it is just horrific to say that innocent men, women, and children and babies who were burned and raped and beheaded and tortured and murdered deserved it. That's what's come out of this, and it is so incredibly painful.
Hamas marked the anniversary by firing a barrage of rockets at Tel Aviv, while Israelis fired strikes into Lebanon against Hezbollah. An update on an officer-involved shooting on Friday that left one man dead and another seriously hurt. Preliminary findings from the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner conclude it was a shot from an officer's gun that killed the suspect. The 33-year-old barricaded himself in a home at 68th and Capitol. He was armed when he went out onto a second-story porch. Officers say he refused to obey their commands to drop his weapon. That's when an officer fired at him, and he retreated back into the house. Tactical teams later found him dead, his gun next to him. One other person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The officer involved is currently on administrative leave. Emergency funding for schools coming to an end. The elementary and secondary school emergency relief, or ESSER funds, were over $2 billion in grants provided to all school districts to address COVID-19 learning loss. Roxanne Fills is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction from the Wisconsin Rapids School District. She tells WTMJ spanning the state that the funds made an impact for programming and educational support.
Schools are learning to school again. We're back to being that community of learners and being able to share things, with our students and families. And a lot of that was due to the ESSER funding that we had, that we're able to engage more of the community and parents into the learning as a whole. And that's a definite positive.
Funds were used for curriculum, educational technologies, mental health supports, and hiring teachers. An independent film with a storyline connected to the Green Bay Packers premieres this month at 2 prestigious film festivals. Green and Gold features actor Craig T. Nelson and was filmed right here in Wisconsin.
It's a story of an old dairy farmer in Wisconsin and his granddaughter. They find out their farm's going under, and the rest of the movie is really just trying to save the farm.
So where do the Packers come in? Director and producer Anders Lindwall joined Wisconsin's Midday News to reveal.
It ends up following the 1993 Packers season. The farmer is kind of brokering a deal with the bank to extend the life of his loan if the Packers win the Super Bowl.
They filmed Green and Gold in Door County and Green Bay. The plan is to release the movie in theaters the first week of February. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Sports traffic and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 7:03.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. We will only sell products we believe in, and we believe in Armstrong Air furnaces. With variable speed blower and multi-stage performance, Armstrong Air's most advanced furnaces deliver the highest number of features, the most comfort, and the greatest efficiency. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. To me, Armstrong Air is the professional's choice. So see the man in the red van, and we'll get you a furnace you can rely on for the long haul.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
When you need emergency service 24/7, any time of the day, any day of the year, call Quality Heating. With one of Wisconsin's largest HVAC fleets, you can count on us being there in a hurry. So don't worry. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you're in a heating or air conditioning jam, just see the man in the red van, and he's going to have a master plan to make sure you stay comfortable.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers improved to 3-2 following yesterday's 24-19 comeback win over the Rams. The Packers return home to face the Arizona Cardinals in Week 6. After a week in California and a couple of days in Detroit, the Bucs are finally home. The preseason continues Thursday against the Lakers. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving. Time saver traffic. We've still got that full closure on Highway 164. That's in Racine County near Waterford. Both north and southbound lanes are closed at Gavin Drive due to a crash. Again, that's at Highway 164. All lanes in both directions are closed near Gavin Drive. Otherwise, mostly smooth sailing across the roads. Just a disabled vehicle to look out for in Milwaukee on 4394 North at Rosedale Avenue. That is blocking the left shoulder. And time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll have mainly clear skies and cool temperatures, a low of 46. On Tuesday, we have sunny skies with a high of 67. Wednesday is still looking at mostly sunshine with a high of 67 degrees by the lake and 73 degrees inland. On Thursday, continuing with the sunny skies, a high of 70 by the lake and 74 degrees inland. On Friday, another mostly sunny day with a high of 78. Right now in Madison, it's 58 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 59. In Waukesha, it's 54. And in Milwaukee, it's 58 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Happy Monday. Thank you for listening as you're driving, as you're washing dishes after dinner, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. And here till 9 o'clock, bringing you entertaining updates about culture and creativity here in Wisconsin. And a victory Monday after yesterday's Packers win puts people in a good mood, thank goodness. Earlier in the show, I shared with you that you can win Packers tickets for the game at Lambeau against the Bears just by uploading fun photos. You have till Wednesday is the deadline. PackersEverywhere.com is where you go to upload your photos. There are 4 different categories. Or, you can roll back on the What's on Tap podcast tonight when you have a minute. Then you can share that info with your Packers family and friends. You can find the podcast at WTMJ.com and wherever you regularly get your podcasts. But PackersEverywhere.com, that sounds like fun. And you got a couple days to scroll through your phone and upload your photos for the chance to win those tickets. But in just a few minutes, you're also going to find out about a new movie filmed here in Wisconsin that has the 1993 Green Bay Packers team as part of the storyline. And it's not a documentary. It's not a biopic. It's a new film by Wisconsin filmmakers. So we'll learn about that in just a few minutes. And speaking of movies, how can you see Halloween-themed movies this week and the rest of Halloween October? I'll share that info with you. Plus, for creative inspiration, some Wisconsin-themed costume suggestions, because it gets to be time. It's like, somebody wants you to dress up and you can't think of something, or you thought you had a good idea. Might be able to help you out with that. And we have a golden anniversary to celebrate in our creative community. Listen to me. The Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. Should have just called it MIAD. MIAD is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. They have an exhibition opening tonight, and they have a MIAD gallery right here next to 3rd Street Market Hall here at the Avenue called MIAD Avenue Gallery. We'll find out about the big celebration they have planned in just a couple of weeks for students, alumni, and former staff, a big reunion. And with Halloween season, as I'm driving around every neighborhood, big or small, there are Halloween decorations everywhere. And I'm particularly impressed with the skeletons. I want to see your skeletons. Show me your skeletons on the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. If you have a photo, or if you want to give me an idea, like what block in what town I should drive to see, maybe it's your spectacular Halloween decoration, or maybe it's your neighbor. But I am fascinated I saw them before, like the last 2 years, but like the 12-foot tall, huge skeletons. And now sometimes they're decorated. They'll have like a top hat or some sort of costume on. But I feel like almost everywhere in the neighborhoods that I walk or that I drive through to go on errands or get here to Good Karma Brands, I see some great Halloween decorations, but particularly the skeletons. There are some skeletons in lawn chairs drinking wine on a corner in my neighborhood, which I find funny. And then there are skeletons. You know where I see big skeletons? Sweeney's Gym on Howell, which is by the airport. And they've been doing this for several years, but they never put them in the same configuration. But there's one skeleton that's on a treadmill, and they have a couple of those huge 12-foot skeletons. But I would enjoy seeing your skeletons. You can talk or text 855-616-1620 with your skeleton suggestions, or email me, sandy@WTMJ.com. Like I said, the creativity flows through the skeletons, and I like the skeleton decorations because they're just not so scary. Because sometimes you see stuff hanging in trees, or you see something on looks like a person, or like Jason standing on someone's porch. That's upsetting. Like that spooks me, and I know that's the spirit of the season. But I like to be entertained. There's another house that I saw in the Oak Creek neighborhood where it has 3 different skeletons climbing up the roof, and then one trying to go down the chimney like a Santa. So if you're getting creative with skeletons, let me see it. 855-616-1620, or email me, Sandy, SANDY @WTMJ.com. Packers fans, find out about the Green and Gold movie next on WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
There was an incident on Blue Mountain Road going eastbound where 2 lanes are blocked.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie, Michael. I-94 eastbound, there is a crash that the sheriff now has the right lane blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Is it prepared for the upcoming wind, cold, rain, and snow? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Can wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water and snow a challenge for your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that, too. Is the siding letting the elements through, or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When the weather's offense beats your home's defense, call in Siding Unlimited. They're not only the best, they're now a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the challenge, put Siding Unlimited in. See their stuff, siding, windows, roofing, and decks, on Instagram or at their unique outside-in showroom in Brookfield. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
A song that gets all Packers fans in a good mood. And even if you're not a Packers fan, it's just a great Todd Rundgren song to get you fired up. A green and gold movie. It's called Green and Gold. Very exciting to find out as I was listening to Wisconsin's Midday News today with Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik that there is a new movie made by Wisconsin filmmakers that weaves in the 1993 Green Bay Packers season into the plot. It's not a documentary. It's not a biopic. It really is a story about Wisconsin farmers. And here's more with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty with the director.
An independent film with a storyline connected to the Green Bay Packers premieres this month at a major film festival. It's called Green and Gold. It was filmed right here in Wisconsin. In fact, they had everyday Wisconsinites as extras. The movie stars Craig T. Nelson, best known for his long run on Coach. You remember him, right, Craig?
I do. That was a great show. Loved it growing up.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And then more recently on Young Sheldon, among others. The director and producer of the film, Anders Lindwall, joins us live from Colorado. Thanks for joining us so much, Anders. This is an exciting time for you as we are so close to the premiere right now.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. We're so excited. You know, this has been such a long time coming.
So what's the storyline of Green and Gold?
Yeah, so the storyline is pretty simple. It's a story of an old dairy farmer in Wisconsin and his granddaughter. They find out their farm's going under. And the rest of the movie is really just trying to save the farm and figure out how to do that. So
where do the Packers come into that?
Yeah, so it's tough because we're new into this PR world, and I don't want to give any spoilers away. But yeah, the Packers, it ends up following the 1993 Packers season, and the farmer is kind of brokering a deal with the bank to extend the life of his loan if the Packers win the Super Bowl. So it's sort of it's a really playful thing, but it just shows kind of this undying commitment this farmer has to the Green Bay Packers, and yeah, we're a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers as well. So
they didn't win that Super Bowl for another few years, but no, they got to it eventually. Which I don't know if the film explains that, but people in Wisconsin have such a rich history in following the Green Bay Packers. I mean, it goes for decades upon decades as a historic and proud franchise. You mentioned you have a partnership with the team. Just what did you look at the team to assist you with when it comes to piecing this film together?
Yeah, I mean, we basically just wanted, when we were making the film, it was my brother and I were huge Packers fans, and we know just like the commitment of the fan base up there, and we always felt like it was an underrepresented group in cinema, like upper Northwest, Northern Midwest communities. Who are just like really sweet, wonderful people. And so in terms of us wanting to represent that in cinema, it was like we wanted to attach it to like a marketable thing. And obviously the wide audience of the Green Bay Packers, like a 21 million person fan base, is a great thing as an independent movie to attach to. And it was genuine. This isn't like a marketing ploy. It was like the film follows this specific season, and it's all about Packers fans and Packers commitment. And it was like, we just got to get it in front of the right person at the organization to come behind it and rally, and we ended up doing that. And yeah, it's basically, you know, like trying to attach to them is like, hey, look, this is a film that celebrates the beauty of Packers fans and the beauty of the area. Like, this isn't a trash movie. This is, everything in it is like wholesome and uplifting and hopefully beneficial to the team and representative of the fans.
How do you score an actor like Craig T. Nelson and get him up to film in a place like Bailey's Harbor, Wisconsin?
Yeah, an absolute miracle is how that happens. So, yeah, we got a great casting director, and in our first meeting, they said, who do you want to play the old farmer? And we said, we want Craig T. Nelson. And they laughed at us, and they were like, okay, who else? You know, here's your list of independent film people you could grab. And we were like, no, just write him and see what. And literally the next day, we got a call back from his agent that says, hey, Craig wants to talk to you. He read the script last night and was like moved to tears by the story and wants to chat. And so he jumped on a call, and you know, we paid him pennies for what the guy's worth, and we couldn't have asked for a better person to come on board. Honestly, he ended up buying us a second camera on the second day of shooting because he's like, where's your second camera? I was like, Craig, this is independent filmmaking. You get one camera. and he said, just take it out of whatever you owe me and just get another camera up here. And yeah, he rolled in the dirt. He went to church on Sunday up in Door County. When he was up there, he invested in the community, and he's just the best. He's become a good friend through the process, and it's just been such a joy, the whole journey with him.
I'm so pleased to hear that, because it not only does it have a Wisconsin connection, but you did a lot of work in Wisconsin, right? And you won't want to talk about and at one point A-list actor just immersing himself into the culture. Like that's an amazing story beyond the story. So just how critical was it for you to make sure that you had a deep-rooted connection to the state and how things operate?
Yeah, this is I haven't told many people this, but we actually 2 weeks before we were about to film, a big studio got a hold of our script and called us and said, hey, we want to buy this from you guys, but we want you to stop production, and we're going to film next year. We're going to wait a whole year, and we're going to shoot down in Alabama. And I went back to my brother, and I was like, man, it's a movie about the Green Bay Packers. Can we go, and they were the studio is doing it for tax purposes. It's like more lucrative to do it. I was like, we got to turn it down. We got to shoot it up here. And so we went back and asked, hey, can we get the deal but shoot it in Wisconsin? They're like, no, it's more, it's just financially better for us to do it down there. And so we passed on the deal. And because we wanted it to be all up there, it's like, we grew up just on like a northern Michigan, Wisconsin border town. And just felt like it's a film about the area. How can you not shoot it here? I'd be embarrassed if somebody found out later that we filmed it in some other state. So yeah, we just really wanted it to be all about the people, and we wanted to, shoot it up there. And honestly, like the folks, Door County is where we filmed, I think all of it actually, with exception to maybe a pickup shot here or there, but, or a scene here or there, but yeah, the folks of Door County just opened their doors and literally shut down the main street for us so we could rip a tractor through the main street. Like, the businesses were okay with us closing the street.
And you guys filmed at the Blue Ox. I mean, now knowing that story about how you decided not to let the big guys take it away and take it down to Alabama, that makes it even more special, I think, for people to see these shots. I mean, I'm hoping that the shots in the Blue Ox made the cut. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah. There's definitely some Blue Ox in there for sure. Yeah, you'll definitely see that. There's no doubt.
So Green and Gold premieres at Heartland International Film Festival in Indiana next week. How big of a deal is that?
Yeah, for us it's a huge deal. It's more, a lot of the film festival stuff is kind of industry legitimizing, principles. So I think so yeah, that it's super important, and just for us to have like street credibility, like, hey, the critics view this as like this is a good movie. It's not just some random film that we put together, but it's got A-list talent, and yeah, just the production quality is really strong. So yeah, we go right from Heartland into Austin Film Festival. But the thing that we're actually most excited about, and this is in partnership with the Packers, and actually we have another one of our kind of the presenting sponsor behind the film is Culver's. They're helping us make this happen too. Is we're going to do some sort of like, and it's a part of Culver's has a big Thank You Farmers campaign and project that they have ongoing, where their commitment to kind of give back to farmers and celebrate farmers. And so this film is a part of that for them. And so we're actually going to be doing some sort of large Thank You Farmers red carpet event at Lambeau, and that'll be in January, which I'm more excited about that, honestly. Like, the film festival stuff is great for us in the industry, and but for the community of Green Bay and Wisconsin and Door County, that event is going to be really, really special. And actually, I think I'm allowed to say this, but Craig's actually singing the national anthem at the Packers-Bears game, which will be around that kind of premiere window in January.
He's singing the national anthem.
I wonder how many people from the church he went to are going to be like, hey, that guy was at church. Like, I still can't get over that. All of a sudden, Craig T. Nelson, he walks into your church congregation for Mass. Like, did anybody recognize him? Did he introduce himself?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how did that go?
Yeah, he'd be walking down the street, and you'd hear people all the time just yell, like, hey, Coach! Yeah. So, but he's such a pro, and he's done it his whole life. He was so gracious always. And one of my favorite was one of the farmers when we showed up to, Craig showed up to, we were doing some rehearsals at their property. And for them, I think this film was all hypothetical. And then one of the farmer's wife, Craig, pulls up, and he's got his bodyguard person, and jumps out, and she just goes, "Oh my Lord!" When she saw him, it was like, here he is. Here's the guy. So, one of the other cool, just if I'm allowed to kind of ramble, one of the other cool things in terms of talent, he was a no-namer when we cast him, and his name is Brandon Sklenar, and he did this role with us, and then I was like, as we were wrapping up, I was like, Brandon, where are you going next? He's like, well, I'm going to this Yellowstone TV series for 1923. I'm auditioning for that. And he texted me while we were still filming in Wisconsin. He goes, dude, I got the gig. And he ended up going from that to then he just came out in It Ends With Us, which was a show that he co-starred with Blake Lively.
Wow, yeah.
And so we joke now that our film, even though we're releasing after everything, I was like, man, we discovered you. We believed in you before anybody else did. So,
that is so great. Well, for people who texted WATCH to the talk and text line 855-616-1620, they're getting a peek at the trailer. But I know everybody's going to want to know, when can they actually see the movie?
Yeah, so this is kind of hot off the press, or I guess maybe still sizzling on the press, but we're likely going to be releasing in theaters the February 1st weekend, which is the weekend before the Super Bowl. So I still need to write a letter to Coach LaFleur and see if we can get the Packers in the Super Bowl this year. That'd be really helpful for our film.
Please do. We'll sign it. We'll co-sign.
But so that's the date that we're targeting right now for a theatrical launch. And then, this stuff can kind of shape and shift, over the next few months, but that's sort of the North Star. So Heartland International Film Festival, and Austin Film Festival here in October. And then January is Craig singing the national anthem. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Packers on that. It's either January 4th or 5th, whenever that last Packers-Bears game is. And then we'll be doing that Thank You Farmers premiere. And then, hopefully releasing in theaters February 1st.
Well, so much good stuff. Thank you so much, Anders. And we'll have to get you back on as we get closer to those dates, because we also want to find out about the extras. And then, Greg, we'll put some pictures out and kind of give people an idea as to why I know so much about this.
Okay.
I'm so curious to hear. I can't wait to hear your take on the story, Jessica. The fact that you're like an insider. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to hear about your perspective.
I can't wait to find out if I make the cut in some aspects. So we're going to get you back on, because we could talk forever about this good stuff, and that's just a whole nother side thing that we don't have time for yet. But that is Anders Lindwall, director and producer of Green and Gold. Congrats, man. This is a big deal.
Yeah, thanks so much. And if folks wanted to, greenandgoldmovie.com is where they can be following kind of updates on it.
And where you can see that trailer, greenandgoldmovie.com. That is Anders Lindwall on Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty. You are now first to know about it, and it's exciting to find out about that film. greenandgoldmovie.com. Halloween, where you can see some skeletons and get some costume ideas after the news coming up on WTMJ.
He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
And now from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, here's Jessica Gatzo.
Thanks, Sandy. We're now learning the identity of a Milwaukee teenager who was shot to death Sunday afternoon. 16-year-old Lamar Parrish Jr. was shot in the area of Cornell Street and 20th Street around 1 p.m. He later died at the hospital. Milwaukee police are continuing to seek unknown suspects in the shooting. Sheboygan police need help finding the driver who hit a bicyclist. The crash happened on Sunday just before 6 a.m. near 8th Street and Spring Avenue. A 60-year-old woman from Sheboygan was riding her bicycle when an unidentified vehicle struck her and fled the scene. The cyclist was taken by Flight for Life to Freighter Hospital. Sheboygan police have a video of the incident on their Facebook. A federal court has entered a preliminary injunction against the town of Thornapple to ensure accessible voting. The Justice Department announced Friday that the town in northwestern Wisconsin must comply with federal law to have an accessible voting system at each of its polling places for the November 5th general election. This stems from a September federal complaint that the town violated the Help America Vote Act by failing to provide options for voters with disabilities for both the April and August primary elections. The town has until October 31st to comply. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Looks like we've got a disabled vehicle blocking a lane on 43 southbound. That's at Keefe Avenue. Looks like the right lane there is blocked. And we're still looking at that incident near Waterford in Racine County. Highway 164 is closed both northbound and southbound at Gavin Drive due to a crash there. And taking a look at your WTMJ forecast, tonight mainly clear skies and cool, a low of 46. On Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 67. Wednesday, sunny again with a high of 67 by the lake and 73 inland. Thursday, sunny, a high of 70 by the lake and 74 inland. And on Friday, mostly sunny again with a high of 78. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 56 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatzo, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
So if you're selling a $2 million home and you found yourself what you thought was a pretty good deal on your real estate commission, at say about 3.6%, you'd pay $72,000 in real estate commission. Not bad, right? Well, your Benefit Realty agent will charge you no more than $19,000 no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale. And it all comes with the full service you'd expect from an experienced real estate brokerage. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. Now, I say this because that's a pretty big number, but I also bring it up because it's always been cool for us to save our clients money. It's not about being the top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission with a cap on our commission for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Happy fall! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. Built Right's 96th anniversary mattress celebration on now. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national, or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, service, and experienced team in Wisconsin. More than 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands. Made in the USA, Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses. They can hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right always saves you money. Shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
'Tis the season. Every day is Halloween till October 31st. I'm Sandy Max, having fun. I was asking you before, I really do want to see your skeletons. They are my favorite Halloween decoration. You know, every year, I wonder what the trend will be for Christmas decorations. Sometimes it's the speckled lights on a garage door, or sometimes it's the drippy hanging lights. You know, there's always something that seems to be the trend. So I feel like it's been bubbling up, but the big trend is the big skeleton this year. I've seen the 12-foot skeletons here and there the past 2 or 3 years, but now I feel like I see them in a lot of neighborhoods, and I like it. I'm entertained. So if you have a skeleton sighting, maybe it's on your block, text it in. Tell me what block, what street, what neighborhood, what city and town. I'm going to put together a list. Maybe I'll just cruise around and see the skeletons. Or if it's your house and you're really proud of it, talk and text line is open, 858-855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Share your skeleton decoration sightings, whether you have worked hard to put them up yourself. I can't imagine how hard it is to stabilize a 12-foot skeleton, because we had some winds on Sunday when I was taking a walk on the lake. So I'm impressed with anyone who's putting up the 12-foot skeletons. But tell me where I can find some. And Scott was great, texted in that there is a family that does a huge skeleton display every year. And this year is a class reunion theme, and it's on Holy Hill Road on the way to Holy Hill. And last year it was a beach surfing theme, and definitely worth the drive. So I like the class reunion idea, and that's the spirit, pun intended, of fun that I want in my Halloween decorations. I get easily spooked if there's something hanging from a tree or something that pops out at you when you're walking the dog. That can make me jump out of my skin. That's not the kind of thrill I enjoy. I enjoy the skeleton. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line, or email me. I'm willing to see your photos too. My email's easy. It's sandy@WTMJ.com, SANDY@WTMJ.com. And I was talking about Halloween movies. Ooh, you can hear this sound, which makes it feel like Phantom of the Opera, doesn't it? Milwaukee Film is screening the 1925 Phantom of the Opera silent film on Friday at 7 at the Oriental Theater. And think about it, it's a movie palace built in the 1920s. The Wurlitzer organ, which has just been refurbished there, also from the 1920s, kind of like you're stepping back 100 years to experience the spooky feeling. But Friday night, 7 o'clock, and if you've never experienced this, I can highly recommend it. I saw the Alfred Hitchcock The Lodger with the organist who came in from London to play the Wurlitzer. It was a cool experience, and it just fills the room, and it really does accompany the movie. And this Phantom of the Opera from 1925, this is the film that inspired lots of remakes. And Lon Chaney, you hear the name, he's a legend. He is in this Phantom of the Opera film, and it's one of the most lavish productions of silent cinema. Creeping in the catacombs where he lives. What's his secret? What's the mystery? Come along. Mesmerizing blend of romance and mystery, according to the description. And it's going to be a great experience. And Dairyland Theater Organ Society is providing the accompaniment, and they're excited. They are Wisconsin's foremost organization of theater organ artists, historians, and enthusiasts. And they are excited to showcase the Oriental's historic Wurlitzer in a format that represents how movies were enjoyed a century ago. And what you're hearing here is an organist named Jay Werner, and this is his accompaniment to the beginning of Phantom of the Opera. So this is representative of what it will feel like there at the Oriental Theater on Friday. They also have some other films that they call Bite Club, as you can imagine, vampire themed for Halloween. Oriental Theater. I'll go through some of those listings later in the show. I'm here till 9, so hang out with me here on What's on Tap. And if you're looking for some creative inspiration, Phantom of the Opera would be a good Halloween costume, but not necessarily a Wisconsin-themed Halloween costume. I came across an article with Wisconsin-themed costume ideas for Halloween if you like to go clever and punny instead of creepy and scary. That's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Once you've lived with it, you know there's no comparison. Hydronic heating is the best in comfort. And when it comes to hydronic heating, the man in the red van can do it all with a 96% efficiency modulating heat boiler, slant fin wall-mounted radiating heat, cast iron radiators, or how about in-floor heat that we can even lay in below your new driveway on your new home build, so you never have to shovel. Now we're talking.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
So here's why you'd want an Armstrong air heat pump. Consider a powerful electric backup to your gas furnace that can do the work of your furnace very efficiently. That means lower energy bills, and it has a rock-solid 12-year warranty and can act as an AC unit too. But here's the real gist of it. With all the government tax credits you get, you almost get the darn thing free. So see the man in the red van to get reliable efficiency from an Armstrong air heat pump.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Every day is Halloween. It's a good song. Right in the spirit of the holiday here. I'm Sandy Max. What's on Tap, a celebration of culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. And with Halloween just a few weeks away, some people really go all in on the costumes. Producer Max Meyerson, are you an all-in on the costumes kind of guy?
No, not really.
I would have predicted that.
I don't think I've actually worn a Halloween costume since I was in college, like going out, because where I went to college, Halloween was a big deal, and everybody would wear their costumes.
Most colleges are, yeah.
So I think the last time I wore a costume, and this is a funny, I don't know if anybody will get this reference, but there's a show called Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And they had one episode where they tried to beat Wade Boggs' record of drinking beers from a cross-country flight. And they have little white T-shirts, and it just says beer counter, and they mark it every time they have a drink.
Okay.
So me and a couple of my friends did that, and every time we went to the bar and got a drink, we'd mark it off the ledger there. So that was the last time I think I did a Halloween costume.
And that's a very college costume, my friend.
Exactly.
That is well done, and right in the theme of college kids going to bars for Halloween. You were probably very popular that night.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody's like, oh my God, like that's hilarious too. And also it was just an excuse to get more drinks and stuff. So as far as going all out for Halloween, not the biggest on it, but I've had some creative ones in my day, and that was probably one of them.
Well done, you. That's funny. I see, I love a theme. So like if you go all in on a theme, then I'm there for it. And I do have the friend who, if she's listening, she's going to know who she is. The friends who go to the Halloween party dressed up, but then stay in character the whole time. Like, well, now it's not fun. Like
that's too much commitment almost.
She was Trinity from The Matrix. And so she just like stomped around the apartment. I'm like, are we going to have fun and talk and chat? It was like, no, I'm going to have my sunglasses on and I'm going to look at people. And then
that reminds me of there's a Key and Peele sketch where one of them is pretending to be Michael Jackson the entire time. He's like, dude, we can just have a conversation right now. And he's just like, hee the whole time. So that reminds me of that sketch by Key and Peele, which is hilarious.
Yeah, so you can go too far with the theme, but I appreciate the creativity. And I found an article I was very charmed by upnorthnewswi.com. Christine Hansen put together some well-known Wisconsinites you can be for Halloween. If you want to be interesting, if you want to have a talkable costume. And these are all, I would say safe for work. For example, maybe you didn't think about it, Barbie. Barbie is a fictitious doll, obviously, but was born in Willows, Wisconsin in 1959. So I got to think a whole lot of people have some leftover Barbie gear from last year's movie. So if you want to dress as Barbie, you can say, yes, but I'm showing that I am very Wisconsin. There's always Vince Lombardi. the fedora, the glasses, and the khaki trench coat. And I would guess also that you probably wouldn't buy too many beers throughout the night if you go as Vince Lombardi and quote some motivational quotes. I like that idea. Trixie Mattel. If you aren't familiar with Trixie Mattel, she is a very famous drag performer from Wisconsin and is co-owner of the This Is It bar, the longest running Wisconsin LGBTQ plus bar. And I bring that up because it is timely. You will see This Is It, that bar, on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in the episode on Wednesday. So Trixie Mattel has been in the conversation recently due to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And, if you're going to dress like a drag queen, you can just go all in with the makeup and the outfits. But if you're going to do it really well, that'd be even better. I found this to be amusing. You can dress as Arnold Schwarzenegger. We know he's Austrian. We know he was the governor of California. He lived in Wisconsin while he was attending the University of Wisconsin Superior. I had no idea. I feel like I know a lot, but that was a fun fact for me. So if you dress as Arnold this year, you can throw out that fun fact as well. Liberace, always a fun, lean all the way into the sequins, get a cape, walk around with a candelabra, be musical. But West Dallas, born and bred singer, musician, Mr. Entertainment. I think that being Liberace would be a whole lot of fun for Halloween. So just some ideas on people that you can be that have a Wisconsin connection for Halloween. This one was a bit of a stretch for me because I think we know the name, but I don't know that anybody would get your costume. Talking about Top Chef. We'll talk about Top Chef shortly. Frank Lloyd Wright, the very famous architect. Fantastic architecture and really creative man. But it turns out his signature look was a pork pie hat, a tan cape, a light gray suit coat, and a cane. Now, I would have thought that I would have remembered something like that, but that's a very distinct look. So if you want to be the only Frank Lloyd Wright at the party, get your pork pie hat, your tan cape, and light gray suit coat and cane. I always love that we can discover things about the state that we thought we already knew or didn't know. So those are some of your inspiring ideas to be a well-known Wisconsinite for Halloween. Thanks again to Christine Hansen of UpNorthNewsWI.com for putting together a fun list like that. I am Sandy Max, and from one holiday to another, you may have something that's not a 12-foot tall skeleton in your yard, but you may have something else really big in your yard that could contribute to the city of Milwaukee's Christmas time. That's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
80% the second bump after the second bump, it's a move.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Oofda.
That means absolutely everything.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
The now quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Jordan Love.
Gotta get up. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want." Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They know
our climate is all over the place. This means your home comfort system gets quite the workout. Constant adjustments need to be made to adapt to our volatile weather. Wisconsin prepares you to be ready for anything because anything happens. Fear not, because for over 42 years, my friends at Dave Drakamp Heating have lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, winter, even when they all seem to happen within the same week. Whether you're experiencing your next home comfort dilemma now or will be soon, call Dave Drakamp Heating. For free estimates on new equipment, routine maintenance, or just to ensure your system is ready for anything, or maybe because you have a simple question about your home comfort, call Dave Drakamp today. 262-367-2820. That's 262-367-2820. Dave Drakamp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakamp.com.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
For some people, it is Halloween. I know it's a lot of people's very, very favorite holiday. And you got all the way till October 31st. But Christmas is coming. I walked by the Kohl's window outside the avenue. They've got a whole section. It didn't make me mad. I was just like, whoa, I'm not ready for that just yet. But the 111th Annual City Christmas Tree Milwaukee, it could be yours. They're still looking for an official city tree. Maybe you have one in your yard or on your property somewhere. To give some perspective, last year, the 2023 Milwaukee Christmas tree, a 38-foot Colorado blue spruce donated by Denise Blue of Milwaukee, a Milwaukee resident, and she has a Grafton tree farm. And if your tree is chosen, keep in mind it would be part of a very long-standing tradition. 110 years is how long Milwaukee has had a Christmas tree tradition, second only to New York City. That's a point of pride. So you could tell everybody, hey, that's my tree. And I guess the city of Milwaukee's Department of Public Works is looking for the perfect tree because the deadline was originally last Friday. So it's been extended. You have until this Friday. If you want your tree considered, you can contact the city of Milwaukee. Their number is pretty easy. It's 286-CITY. 414-286-CITY 2489. And all tree candidates will be evaluated. The best one will be selected. And if your tree is selected, it will be the center of attention. Now, the ideal tree, 30 feet tall at least, has to be accessible for harvest with a crane. So no overhead wires that would interfere with that process. That would just be dangerous. And I'm amused. It's almost like a tree pageant. Tree candidates are judged on size, shape, uniformity, density, and color. So if you want your tree to be the center of attention, the 2024 Milwaukee City Christmas tree, get in touch with the City of Milwaukee, 286-CITY by Friday. All tree candidates will be evaluated after being harvested. That tree is going to get decorated and lit. David Caruso, he is a big deal in this town when it comes to 4-star events and galas, and he decorated last year's Christmas tree, and he's going to be at it again, putting his unique eye for design and sparkle and magic on it. So the donors of the winning tree, you'll get to be there at the tree lighting ceremony as well, along with the mayor. So if you're interested in having your tree be the 2024 Milwaukee City Christmas tree, don't wait. Friday is the absolute deadline, 286-CITY. And if you're wondering, well, yeah, but if I donate my tree, then what happens? Forestry staff comes, takes it on a flatbed trailer with a crane, removes the stump, and they fill in the hole. So you won't just be left with a gaping crater in your yard. 286-CITY. Get in touch with them by Friday so your tree could possibly be the proud 2024 Milwaukee City Christmas tree. News is next and more about things that are happening in our city not just Halloween-oriented, but also Top Chef-oriented. Next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitschke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Kristen Bry. I have a new dentist, and I'm looking forward to telling you all about him and his awesome staff. I just had my first cleaning and checkup with Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care, and if you have not been to the dentist in a while, you should go see my guy. With the holidays coming, you know you want your best smile for all those family photos, and for those of you who have a fear of going to the dentist, Dr. Michaels understands your apprehension. So whether you need a simple cleaning, a more complex procedure, a teeth whitening, or even an implant for missing teeth, Economawalk Dental will always make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. At Economawalk Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream, but a reality. Dr. Michael's fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. Do not put off going to the dentist any longer. Call and make an appointment today with my new dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 54 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear and cool, the low of 46. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. Local members of the Jewish community marking a year since the October 7th attacks with events and remembrances. President and CEO of Milwaukee's Jewish Community Center, Mark Shapiro, tells WTMJ time has softened the narrative about the attacks, and today is an opportunity to revisit what actually happened.
What happened on October 7th wasn't war, it was terrorism. They're not prisoners of war, they're hostages. They didn't die, they were murdered.
Shapiro also telling Wisconsin's Morning News there's been an overwhelming response to an evening commemoration planned tonight at the JCC. Election officials in the Southeast are working to ensure voters impacted by Helene can still participate. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is in Asheville, North Carolina with more.
Election offices across the state have reopened, with staffers urgently working to restore operations and clear up confusion for those trying to vote. The state election board changed the election rules to help voters impacted by the storm. Early voting hours will be extended, and election officials will be on hand at disaster shelters to assist with absentee voting. Some voters here are determined to make their voices heard.
It is critical that we make this vote in this election.
Skylar Henry, CBS News, Asheville, North Carolina.
3 Milwaukee men face charges for a burglary in Menominee Falls involving gunfire. It happened back in August. The criminal complaint lists 22-year-old Zamonte Birch, 25-year-old Desmond Wilkes, and 23-year-old Dimitri Duval Wilkes. It says they used a stolen 2002 Jeep Liberty to drive to Menominee Falls, where they entered about 20 vehicles, then an unlocked home on Wire Farm Drive. A relative staying at the home was sleeping on the couch when the 3 men entered the home. That person was shot at and suffered serious injuries. Burke admitted he shot at the person on the couch. He faces multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, and could see up to 90 years in prison. Wilkes and Duval Wilkes face charges of being party to a crime of armed burglary and operating a vehicle without the owner's consent. All 3 have a cash bond set for $100,000. A popular popsicle has a new owner. Ian Robinson is the new owner of Pete's Pops, a Milwaukee staple for creative and custom popsicles. Robinson tells WTMJ's The Upswing why he wanted to keep the business going.
It's hard even on a bad day to hold a popsicle and have a frown. So I think there's a lot of memory tied to food when you're a little kid, especially. I like the idea of being able to have people walk up to a window or a cart and have kids have that same memory-driven experience that they'll remember when they're 36.
Robinson took over the business from founder Pete Cooney in June. Camp Randall Stadium at UW will host a major concert for the first time in nearly 30 years. The university announcing during the Wisconsin-Purdue game that a big act will be unveiled on Tuesday.
So who could it be? Well, there is speculation it'll be Coldplay because the band chose Moon Saloon in Moon, Wisconsin, just north of Stevens Point, to debut its new album this week. Plus, during the Badger game, 2 Coldplay songs were played in a row. The last time a major concert was held at Camp Randall was 1997 when the Rolling Stones came to town. U2 also played the stadium that year. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Sports traffic and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 8:04.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gerber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Packers improved to 3-2 following yesterday's 24-19 comeback win over the Rams. The Packers return home to face the Arizona Cardinals in Week 6. After a week in California and a couple days in Detroit, the Bucs are finally back home. The preseason continues Thursday against the Lakers. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We still have that ongoing road closure on Highway 164 in that's near Waterford in Racine County. Both directions are closed at Gavin Drive due to a crash there, estimated to be closed for at least another hour or so. Otherwise, back in Milwaukee County, looks like we do have a disabled vehicle on 43 southbound to look out for. That's about 3/4 of a mile beyond the ramp from Silver Spring Drive, blocking the right shoulder there.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Taking a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight we have mainly clear skies and cool temperatures, a low of 46. Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 67. On Wednesday, the sunshine continues, a high of 67 by the lake and 73 inland. Thursday, still looking sunny, a high of 70 by the lake and 74 degrees inland. Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 78. Right now in Madison, it's 56 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 57. In Waukesha, it's 50. And in Milwaukee, it's 54 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
Rural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Hour 3 of What's on Tap, a supersized version, and I'm glad for it. I like hanging out with you. Thanks for spending time with me on this Monday night where we explore culture and creativity. And in this hour, we're going to talk about Top Chef a little bit because one of the longtime Top Chef judges is going to be in town next Monday. I will reveal that. Plus, we're in the Halloween season. Milwaukee Film has a series called Bite Club. I'll let you know which vampire-type films you can see in Bite Club to get your Halloween spook on. Plus, speaking of films, Joker Folie à Deux. How is the movie? It's gotten mixed reviews, but I have a very knowledgeable movie reviewer to give us his review. So you will hear that before 9 o'clock. And going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, MIAD. What a milestone to celebrate. And when you think about 50 years, how many creators have come through this city and either stayed or moved on or come to teach at MIAD. So we're going to talk about how they're celebrating and how you can get in on it and have some fun. And also Halloween season, talking about Bite Club movies. How about skeletons? I haven't gotten any emails yet. Sandy at WTMJ.com. SANDY at WTMJ.com. If you're driving now, that's okay. Just wait. You can email me a photo later of your skeleton decorations. And it's fun driving at home, driving home in the dark because you get to see, we have an inflatable Martian spaceship in the yard of one of our neighbors. I like people can just kind of go nuts and get crazy and flesh out all of the aspects of the supernatural, surreal, creepy, and weird for Halloween. But I'm highly entertained by the 12-foot tall skeletons. So if you have a sighting of a great skeleton display, and I've seen them all around the city, and we got a tip. Holy Hill is another space to see the skeletons. There were skeletons that are having a class reunion near Holy Hill. Where are you seeing funny skeletons? 855-616-1620, the talk and text line. Love to chat with you. And again, I think the feat of staging all the skeletons, whether they're climbing up your roof or crawling out of your lawn, or like I said earlier, there are a couple of skeletons lounging in beach chairs drinking wine in a neighborhood that I saw in the corner. So 855-616-1620. Have some Halloween fun with me. And I would say brag about your Halloween decorations. People go all in for the Halloween season, and I like that there is joy in our neighborhoods and the decorations and the fun. Top Chef, how can you see one of the judges? Find out next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Republican and former Congresswoman Liz Cheney spoke at a campaign event alongside Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris.
Eric Billstad.
Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer faces a misconduct in office felony charge.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Westbound on 94 tightening up from just west of 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
When you need emergency service 24/7, any time of the day, any day of the year, call Quality Heating.
With one of Wisconsin's largest HVAC fleets, you can count on us being there in a hurry. So don't worry. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you're in a heating or air conditioning jam, just see the man in the red van. And he's going to have a master plan to make sure you stay comfortable.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
We will only sell products we believe in. And we believe in Armstrong Air Furnaces. With variable speed blower and multi-stage performance, Armstrong Air's most advanced furnaces deliver the highest number of features, the most comfort, and the greatest efficiency. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. To me, Armstrong Air is the professional's choice. So see the man in the red van, and we'll get you a furnace you can rely on for the long haul.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
If you were like me earlier this year, you loved that Top Chef was based right here in Wisconsin. That was 14 weeks of fun where the rest of the country and the rest of the world got to see Wisconsin on display. Milwaukee, Madison, farmland, cheese, of course, fish boils. It was, if you haven't caught up on Top Chef, I'm telling you, stream it on Peacock. You'll enjoy it. They did the Bravo people did a great job, the team of showing just how great Wisconsin cuisine is, ranging from indigenous food to dairy. It was a really, really fun series. And I think, well, I don't think, I know. I followed it along and I got to talk with some of the chefs and some of the chef testants all the way from the red carpet premiere to the finale. And it was great to know that Wisconsin really left a good memory and a good impression. And I remember when the whole crew came back after filming last year, they came back in March for the preview party, for the premiere party, and they had favorite restaurants they wanted to go to, and they had favorite spots. So it really was a place that they were excited about coming back to, and they felt very welcome in Wisconsin. So now, guess who's going to be back in town? Next Monday at this time, Chef Tom Colicchio is going to be at the Riverside Theater. It's a Boswell Book Company Presents event, and it's going to be moderated by Chef Paul Bartolotta of the Bartolotta Restaurant Group, and he's a 2-time James Beard Award winner. Chef Tom, 8-time James Beard Award winner, and you know him from the Top Chef show. He is the head judge, and if you want to go to this show, the cool thing is your ticket gets you a copy of his new book. It's called Why I Cook, and Tom Colicchio has gone back through different recipes and different memories, and he shares these dishes and memories that he feels are formative. For example, his first cooking experience, he was bored. He picked up a copy of Cuisine magazine and made a stuffed eggplant, and that was really the start of his love of cooking, and he's been cooking for 4 decades now. And just as a sample of what I think you'll be able to hear on Monday night at the Riverside Theater, at that red carpet premiere party for Top Chef, Chef Paul Bartolotta moderated the panel of all the Top Chef judges, including Chef Tom Colicchio. And this is part of that, a highlight of that conversation, starting with Tom talking about just how far back he and Chef Paul go.
Yeah, you know, Paul, when we were coming up back in the Stone Age.
Thanks, man. Love you too.
You know, there was a handful of cities that you would cook in to learn, right? And so if you fast forward 40 years from back then, now there's great food all across this country. Everywhere there's great food. And it's because so many young chefs, they come to maybe the larger cities to learn, but they want to go back home. They either go back home because they want to raise a family, and they want to be close to their family. Also, how can you open a restaurant in New York? It's impossible these days. It's too expensive. And so you can come to smaller cities and do really, really well. And this is why we have great food across this country. So I wasn't surprised at all to see the amount of restaurants that were here that were all very good. You know, in Madison, there's 2 restaurants that the chefs work for me. And it was great to touch base and see what they were doing. It's not surprising at all. I mean, we were not surprised. I mean, I rely on Gail. Gail is the one who does the research for the restaurants, and I just kind of go along. But
True.
World class. I mean, absolutely. I'm not saying this because I'm here in Milwaukee. Wherever you show me a farming culture, there's a food culture. Absolutely. That's where it starts. It starts if you're right. I mean,
Wisconsin.
And I got to say, also, to the dairy farmers out there, my wife's a filmmaker. She's researching the work that she's doing right now, and it's set on a dairy farm. The other day, she said, "I can't believe how hard dairy farming is. I don't understand. Why would someone do that? It is so hard." So, for the farmers out there who are doing it, thank you so much, because without your work,
Wisconsin farmers,
we have. Without your work, we have nothing to work with. So thank you. But really, if there's a farming culture, there's a food culture. If there's a food culture, there's a restaurant culture.
Talk to me a little bit about the judging part of it and the relationship with the contestants. You have a unique position because you've been on both sides of that table.
I was terrified of both of them.
I know. Terrified.
Absolutely terrified.
Yeah, I was first judged in like 2009, and so much has changed. And you guys are direct, to the point.
Constructive. We like to call it
constructive, exactly. But also like mentoring and caring, but not too much filter, but empathetic with their reality. Sitting there and watching these people, you've been doing this for 20 plus years. Talk to me about what that's like and how it's evolved and changed.
Well, one thing that hasn't changed that I think is the most important piece of the show, and it's designed very purposefully, is that we actually don't, as much as we want to, we don't have a relationship with the chefs through the entire season. Like, I got to give them a hug tonight, and it feels nice to us because we know how hard you work, and they keep us completely separate from them. And that's by design, right? First and foremost, it's about the food they make for us every day. I don't care if you had a bad day in the kitchen. I don't care what's happening at home. And it's not because I'm being mean, but if you think about the restaurant experience, when I go out to eat as a paying customer, if my food is terrible and the chef says, well, I'm really sorry, my sous chef didn't show up today, like, too bad. I paid $40 for my entree, and we try to keep it authentic that way. We want to judge them only on the merit of their work every day, because that's how the industry works. Their story, all that stuff that you're going to see tonight, their interviews, their time in the kitchen, their time back at the house together, we're not privy to any of it because it would influence how we feel about them. And I think that's been a cornerstone of how the show works. And it's really important. It allows us to be able to be direct and not too invested. So you will invest in their personalities and their amazing stories at the same time as us when we watch it when it goes on air.
But it's 21 seasons of integrity and authenticity, and that doesn't happen by happenstance. It's because of that structure and that rigor that you guys
Which Tom really set up and put in place. I mean, really, he didn't want to do the show to begin with. So, you know.
Actually, do you remember we had a conversation when you were approached? It was your wife or somebody that you knew that approached?
No.
Who was it that approached you?
Shona Minoprio, who was our first showrunner, called me out of the blue and said, we're doing this reality cooking show and we think you'd be a great judge. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. There was also, at the time, there was a reality restaurant show and the chef did not look very good doing it.
Exactly, I remember.
Won't mention names.
Won't mention any names.
Won't mention names. And so I said, I don't want to do that. And then they said, well, can we get someone to just, record you? So someone showed up with a camcorder and recorded me. And the next phone call was, can you come to LA for a screen test? No.
You haven't changed at all.
No, it's like, I don't want to do this. And then they sent me a bunch of DVDs on Project Runway. And we were fans of Project Greenlight. And so it was over a holiday, and my wife and I binged Project Runway, like one season. I said, okay, this could be interesting. So I said, listen, I can't show for a screen test, but there was a documentary made on the opening of one of my restaurants. So I sent them that, and they called and said, we want to make you an offer. And this is my thought process. My wife always said, don't tell the story. I got tired of going to like a food festival, and I'm sitting next to Bobby Flay, who's signing 300 books, and I'm signing 20 of mine. And I didn't think because he had a better book. He was on TV.
Have you told this to Bobby? Just checking.
Yeah. And so I agreed to do it. And a couple things though. Number one, the show isn't about us; it's about the chefs. And also, I just wanted to make sure that the judges had to say over who comes and goes. That we weren't going to be, a pawn of someone trying to create drama. And they agreed, and from day one, it's been that way. Again, we don't have a relationship with the chefs. And I treat them the only way I can treat them is if they were cooks in my kitchen. And I'm mentoring them and I'm going to give them feedback. And that's it. And it's honest feedback. I always say, I'm not a fan. I don't care who wins. The best food that day is winning. Worst food's going home, period. I don't care if you won 3 in a row and you're great. If you make the worst dish, you're going home. It's the only way we can judge. Food is eating. What we do is subjective. We all bring something different to our experiences. But for me, is it seasoned? Is it cooked properly? And then we look at the challenge. Because a lot of times the chefs they don't even care about the challenge. They'll just try to make food, and we'll ding them for that. We know when they're doing it. They're all laughing over here. They know.
They go, yeah, I did that.
Then it comes down to composition. If it gets close, then it's look at the composition, the balance of the dish. Is everything cooked properly? If you're going to put 5 things on a plate, they better all be cooked properly. The only time we finally break it is in the finale when we announce the winner. Then we all can talk.
That is a moment from the Top Chef Red Carpet premiere party. That was the voice of Chef Tom Colicchio, who is going to be in town this time next Monday at the Riverside on stage with one of the other voices you heard, Chef Paul Bartolotta. And they go way back and they have stories to tell. And you just heard Chef Tom there joking about Bobby Flay signing more books. If you go to the Riverside, you will get to hear Tom Colicchio telling stories from his new book called Why I Cook. And with your ticket, you get admission and a copy of Why I Cook. There won't be a meet and greet or a signing line on this occasion, but you get his book and you get the chance to hear him telling stories. It's cool. I always feel like when you can just eavesdrop on old friends. And Chef Tom Colicchio and Chef Paul Bartolotta go way back. Now, in the photo that you can see when you go to the website, there's a guitar. Wouldn't it be cool if Chef Tom brought his guitar? There's also a dog in the photo, so I don't know if he'll bring his dog and his guitar, but it'll definitely be a good time if this is the kind of entertainment that you enjoy, hearing a chef talk about his creative process and the dishes and the memories that have shaped him as a person. That's your night. Boswell Book Company presents Tom Colicchio at the Riverside Theater next Monday night. I am Sandy Max. We're going to get into the Halloween spirit with some blood-sucking films next on What's on Tap.
So what do you think of WTMJ?
You can't handle the truth.
No, we absolutely do want your honest feedback.
Hit me with it. Just give it to me straight.
You listen to WTMJ, you should have a say. It only takes 10 minutes to complete the Fall 2024 fan survey. As a thank you for your valuable feedback, you'll be entered to win a package including 2 Bucks tickets and an overnight stay at the Pfister. Simply text the word survey to the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Results may vary. Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show.
Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Embracing the Halloween season. Not just me, not just your neighbors with their decorations. Milwaukee Film also is embracing Halloween with some vampire movies. Instead of Fight Club, it's Bite Club, an entire series of a variety of very unusual films and some regular mainstream movies, all mixed in there. I guarantee you there's going to be a film that you haven't seen before, and then probably a favorite. Some of the titles that are coming up this week: A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. That is on Thursday, the 10th at 9:15. You're like, I don't know that one, because it's the first Iranian vampire Western. See? International horror. So A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. That is Thursday, 9:15 at the Oriental Theater. The Hunger, an 80s movie that I saw, and it's got an incredible opening scene. There's a band called Bauhaus who have a song called Bela Lugosi's Dead. See? All fits into that Halloween theme. And it's a very, very eye-catching, grabbing opening scene for The Hunger. Susan Sarandon, Catherine Deneuve, and David Bowie plays a vampire. That's an 80s classic in my world. That is Friday night at 9:15, The Hunger at the Oriental Theater. And then Saturday, a matinee, Monster Squad, another 80s movie that is on the other end of the spectrum from The Hunger. It's a movie about 12-year-olds trying to save their town from Count Dracula. That's Monster Squad at the Oriental on Saturday at 3:30. And also Saturday night, Blade, with Wesley Snipes. But you know who else was in the movie Blade? Chris Christopherson, who recently passed away. He played a character called Whistler in all the Blade movies. And if you want to see probably what you could consider a classic horror film or like classic vampire film, that is Blade, Saturday night at the Oriental Theater at 8:30. There are other films that are listed here. I am not familiar with them. Daughters of Darkness, Only Lovers Left Alive, Messiah of Evil, Thirst are just some of them. And then also, I'm fascinated by this. Silence Synced presents Nosferatu and Radiohead, where they sync up the silent film of Nosferatu with Radiohead. I think that's pretty cool. So check Milwaukee Film, mkefilm.org, for all the listings if you want to get in the Halloween mood and maybe have a Halloween-type date night. Milwaukee Film's Bite Club series. And stay with me. We are going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of my ad next on What's on Tap.
Happy fall! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. My wife wants to redo the whole living room. Not sure what we're doing for furniture, but I do know where we're going to buy it. Built Right, just a few miles from our home on the south side. Built Right's 96th anniversary celebration and $1 million clearance sell-off is on now. All about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. Third and fourth generation family members in the store working with their amazing team with more than 400 years experience. Be ready for your holiday guests with thousands of items in stock plus 500 mattresses and custom orders. They're faster in 2024. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, USA made, small scale, Amish made, real solid wood, more than 55 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services. Built Right always saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
An arts organization celebrating their golden years. 50th anniversary of Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. We know them as MIAD. 50 years, bringing up new creators and a community of collaborators. And I got a chance to talk with MIAD's Leah Good and Monica Miller when they visited me on What's on Tap last month to find out just what is in store for their 50th anniversary.
We have many plans in line for our big MIAD celebration. It's a big, big accomplishment. You know, the M in MIAD stands for Milwaukee, and we are a part of this community. And being a part of this community, it gives us this opportunity to be at Gallery at the Ave. And the Gallery at the Ave is a place where we can showcase our students' work, our alumni work, our faculty work. We have an exhibit, Milwaukee Prints. It is in conjunction with our communication design department, where we have the communication design screen by printing class that is going to be doing custom screen prints that are based on Milwaukee's theme, because we're showing their understanding how to reach their demographic, which is being in this Milwaukee community that they live and play in, and being able to create work for those around them, and then in turn being able to understand how as an artist they can thrive in their community by learning how to sell and share their work and promote their work.
And also having it at MIAD Gallery at the Ave, we are in our first year. It's our first ever off-site gallery for the college in our 50 years, which is an incredible, landmark for us as a college. And so in the month of October, like Leah mentioned, we're going to have, if you are a supporter of MIAD, if you are an alumni of MIAD, we have an alumni reunion coming up, but we also have 2 cornerstone exhibitions celebrating our history. So our first is going to be an alumni exhibition. So it's going to be all-encompassing folks who attended the college in the 70s up until recent. We'll have that work on view, and we'll also actually have an exhibition from emeriti faculty, so folks who taught at the college for many, many years who are either still living or we have works from them right now in our collection. So kind of thinking about, if you're in high school, you go to a reunion, you get to see your classmates, but you also may see some faculty that you were with as well.
What a great gathering of creative people to catch up on the exhibitions and the special events. What's the best place to go to online?
MIAD.edu.
Yeah, and you will see all of those events. I just think it's great to have these creators and friends come back together again. And who knows what else will be sparked when you reconnect with people. And MIAD, MSA, Layton School of Art alums are welcome. It's going to be a big 50th anniversary. That weekend is going to be the 18th and 19th of October when the big reunion happens, even though the exhibition is open right now. And the 18th is also Third Ward Gallery Night. So it all combines very lovely there. So the Third Ward gallery area is where Of Our Time, celebrating 50 years of growth, innovation, and creativity within MyAd's alumni community, opens tonight, goes all the way through November 21st at MyAd's Frederick Layton Gallery. And that official opening reception is on gallery night, October 18th. And I guarantee you're going to bump into a whole lot of creative people because that's the reunion weekend. And October 18th will also be the opening of the MyAd Path Setters and Emeriti exhibition, where it looks both forward and back at faculty who have shaped MyAd's curriculum. And think of the generations of artists that have been through MyAd. So it's very exciting to have a happy golden anniversary to celebrate for MyAd. And thanks to Leah Good and Monica Miller for joining me in the WTMJ studio. And it is a luxury to have the second MyAd gallery at the Ave just downstairs here to browse art and have a good stimulating conversation. And it is absolutely free. So anytime you want to see art, you can stop by here at the Ave. We have movie review. What have you heard about the new Joker movie? We'll give you an official movie review from someone in the know next on What's on Tap.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Admit it, you've been dealing with achy joint pain for so long. It's been so long you don't even remember when it started, when you used to feel good. You do the daily doses of medication, which basically just a Band-Aid. You've done the steroid shots, and it just doesn't last, and God knows what the long-term effects are. So let's talk real lasting relief. It is possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting the mobility back, and most importantly, getting their lives back. Just call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies, using your own body's healing properties. Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can go right to the office right after a treatment. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
So here's why you'd want an Armstrong Air heat pump. Consider a powerful electric backup to your gas furnace that can do the work of your furnace very efficiently. That means lower energy bills. And it has a rock-solid 12-year warranty and can act as an AC unit too. But here's the real gist of it. With all the government tax credits you get, you almost get the darn thing free. So see the man in the red van to get reliable efficiency from an Armstrong Air heat pump.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Once you've lived with it, you know there's no comparison. Hydronic heating is the best in comfort. And when it comes to hydronic heating, the man in the red van can do it all with a 96% efficiency modulating heat boiler, slant fin wall-mounted radiating heat, cast iron radiators, or how about in-floor heat that we can even lay in below your new driveway on your new home build, so you never have to shovel. Now we're talking.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
That is the ominous music from Joker. Folie deux, the second Joker movie, out this weekend. Now, I will tell you that when I saw movie reviews last week before the movie was out, it was already getting sort of mixed reviews, but I was curious. I saw Joker. It's a pretty intense, thoughtful, well-written, certainly well-performed film. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to see it on Friday, certainly in time to share any review with you. But I turned to someone who I know who has had a long-time podcast, dearest friends, who has a wealth of knowledge of all things graphic novels and the pop culture that ripples from them, the TV shows, the movies, and everything from there. His name is John Centris of the Word Balloon podcast. And John, you were on assignment. You went to see Joker Folie Deux.
Yeah. I did. I didn't know if I was going to see it right away, Sand. But when you called and they're like, "Hey, are you going to do it?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, why not? All right." And truly, I went into this not knowing what to expect, because if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, it's very interesting. It describes the genres, and they're correct: crime, drama, musical. I can't think of any film that has all three genres. They pulled it off, in my opinion, and I got to say, way to go, Todd Phillips. Of course, he directed the original. And we knew Todd Phillips prior to the Joker from the Hangover movies. And I think was a really good raunchy comedy director. And it's like, he's doing Joker? And I have to confess, I did like the first movie, Joker. But to me, and you'll understand this, Sandy, in putting it in watching a band musical terms, it was like seeing a really good cover band. And if you had never heard the original version of something, then you were really blown away, because the first movie to me was part Taxi Driver, part King of Comedy. And this movie absolutely is its own thing, especially with the musical parts, and they pull it off. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, obviously Lady Gaga can sing, and we saw Joaquin Phoenix, get through Walk the Line. But it was well, you know what I mean. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, he did fine. But I wouldn't rush out to buy any Joaquin Phoenix albums. But this is really good, and that's a hell of a tightrope to juggle crime, drama, and musical. I think they did. I've been fascinated looking at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and I didn't want to look until after I saw the movie. I really liked it. I don't think it's for everybody. I think it's extremely violent and vicious, but if you saw the first movie, you kind of will expect that. But definitely, not a film to take the kids to. And also, it's a dark, sad movie, and that might turn people off as well when they're looking for, hey, let's go out tonight. You might come out of it like, oh man, you really went through an ordeal. But
well, the first movie was. So the first movie was certainly dark and sad. So this seems like it continues that style of storytelling.
Absolutely. But it even gets darker if you could imagine such a thing. And really, I think movies need to make you feel something. I mean, good art makes you feel something, and this made me feel something. And Todd Phillips, like I said, first movie, well, impressive cover band. But if you saw the originals of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, and you know me, I'm an old movie freak, so I that stuff sticks with me. But this is such an original movie. I am blown away, and truly, both Phoenix and Gaga really bring it. And I think and the whole cast, it's littered with great character actors. Brendan Gleeson and Bill Smitrovich, who you may not know by name, but once you see him, be like, oh yeah, that guy. I mean, everybody's great in this film. Everybody is great in this film.
Interesting. I was wondering if you would be mad at me, because I saw some of the ripple on social media, and is it really a 3-hour film?
Well, according to the running time I'm seeing, it's 2:18, but the theater these days. You go and it's, literally 7 or 8 trailers, not to mention all the commercials if you come too early. And really, by the 6th or 7th trailer, I'm like, okay, get to the movie, please. I mean, and also, good Lord, I don't know how much movies are now in Milwaukee. I'm down here in Chicago. But, man, it is not cheap to go to the movies. And it shouldn't, to me, you'll forgive me for being Ralph Nader for a second, a consumer advocate. But I really don't think one movie and a 2+ hour experience should not cost more than a month of streaming. But that's me.
That's an interesting comparison. I do have a question. Do you stay through the credits to see if there's an Easter egg at the end?
There isn't. And then, that's the thing. I understand it's based on a comic book and the classic character of the Joker, but I really think with both movies, Todd Phillips is like, this isn't a Batman movie. And certainly Batman, I don't think I'm spoiling, this is not, Batman doesn't show up at the end. It happens in Gotham City. There's an allusion to, there's a couple street scenes, and you see a Wayne skyscraper, and there are a couple other Easter eggs that will be familiar to people that really love Batman and know it top to bottom. But the two movies are their own thing, and I welcome that. And that's hard to do sometimes. And also Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. This isn't Margot Robbie redo, or if you know in the cartoons, Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory has been playing Harley in the cartoon series. No, it's weird because on the one hand, beyond the musical, it's heightened reality, and some of the things you might be like, there's no way they'd let them do that in the real world. But again, it's a movie, and it has nothing to do with the moments of the musical and stuff. Gaga brings it, and Harley Quinn is a very grounded character, as well she should be, and Joker is as well. I mean, this isn't a criminal mastermind where, and then he's going to become Batman's Moriarty and everything's going to be, no. This is a disturbed man who, and it's really a movie of the times, I'm sorry to say. And again, it might bum people out, especially in the environment we now live in with the culture wars and unfortunately some of the violent things that happen in the streets as well. Because as you saw at the end of the first film, Joker to some freaks are kind of a cause celeb. And that attitude continues in this movie.
Interesting. So I am relieved that you enjoyed the film because you would do many things by request. So I'm glad I don't owe you one for this one. We were talking. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say. Honestly, I'm a harsh critic. I mean, Word Balloon. Obviously, I cover comics. I cover the television and film tie-ins. But I am not an easy audience, and I've been rough on Star Trek and Star Wars and even Marvel product of late, where I'm like, sorry, I'm just not connecting. And not that it was poorly produced, but a lot of times poorly written, didn't like the characters. Not a fan of that Flash movie that came out 2 summers ago. Really, I mean, I love Michael Keaton's performance, but no disrespect to Ezra Miller, I never liked their portrayal of Barry Allen or the Zack Snyder choice of how to show the Flash compared to the TV show. And I just didn't buy Ezra as Barry Allen. This, like I said, Joaquin is he's his own Joker. This isn't Heath Ledger redo. My God, I wish Cesar Romero were alive to see his reaction to this incredibly dark movie. But I'm blown away. I really am.
John Suntress of the Word Balloon podcast gives Joker Folie à Deux thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. I would. I mean, let's stick with 4 stars. I don't know why suddenly it's 5 stars, but I'd give it 4 out of 4. I mean, and again, Gaga really brought it. Every time she is in a dramatic role, she impresses me more. I wasn't a big fan when she first kind of hit the scene, and I was kind of in that camp of, all right, I remember seeing this 20 years ago when it was called Madonna. But I have to say, Gaga really, I mean, certainly her music, I've grown to respect and admire her music. And I really admire her acting, and she brings it in this movie.
John Suntress of the Word Balloon podcast. He is a wealth of knowledge and not a pushover when it comes to films. So I really respect his opinion. And I'm still curious about the movie, and I'm going to do what I can to avoid spoilers because I did just do a quick what's the latest review and where things went very wrong, but there's some sort of controversial ending, so I don't want to know about the controversial ending. I'd like to see it fresh. So I did just rewatch Joker last night, so I feel like I'm fresh and ready. But if you saw it, I'm interested in your opinion. You can always share your review. Talk text line is 855-616-1620. That's 855-616-1620 if you agree or disagree with John Suntress from the Word Balloon podcast, because everybody has their opinions, and the talk and text line seems to be a great place to express them. 855-616-1620. Let us know what you thought of Joker Folie à Deux. More of What's on Tap next on WTMJ.
Fall is on its way, which means you need to make sure your house is up to snuff before the cold hits. WTMJ's Debbie Loziga here for the WTMJ Home Improvement Showcase. Join us every week as we highlight services provided by our great partners, including Comfort Awnings and Bruce's team with Realty Executives Integrity. And they'll get you and your home ready for whatever season Wisconsin holds. It's the WTMJ Fall Home Improvement Showcase. Find out more at WTMJ.com.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Still want to know where your skeletons are. I'm Sandy Max. Thanks for hanging out with me on this supersized episode of What's on Tap tonight, on at 6 o'clock every night this week. So I hope you will join me for stories about culture and creativity. And I hope you will share your skeleton photos. Sandy at WTMJ.com, SANDY at WTMJ.com. Burst with pride with your fabulous decorations or the ones that you're impressed with in your neighborhood. Send me an email of those photos, or you can talk and text line them 855-616-1620. But if I'm not here, I don't always see the talk and text line. So if you email me, I'll get them that way. Sandy at WTMJ.com as we get into the Halloween season. And this week on What's on Tap, we're going to get you ready to maximize the deals and discounts you can get starting on Thursday with Milwaukee Theater Week. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If you've been downtown, there are little red theater chairs popping up in like 6 different spots downtown. It's fun to just see 2 theater chairs in the middle of a park. So Milwaukee Theater Week is coming. Guess Coochie Coochie Queen Charo. She's going to be performing in Baraboo at the Al Ringling Theater on Friday night, and she's going to spend a little time with me. We can catch up on some Love Boat episodes. She's a cool woman. So Charo, and also Paul Mercurio, maybe not necessarily a name that you know, but he's a comedian, has a lot of experience, and is on tour with a show called Permission to Speak. And it sounds like a really interesting show where the audience members get to tell their stories, and he works that in. So very interactive and immersive and connective. So we'll meet Paul Mercurio. He will visit us in the studio this week as well. I'm working on some other stories and surprises up my sleeve. So thank you very much for hanging out. If you ever want to catch up on any of the What's on Tap episodes, you find them. WTMJ What's on Tap. If you search on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, or just go to WTMJ.com, or you can even text the word TAP, T-A-P, to 855-616-1620. Don't miss a single cultural or creative story that we cover here on What's on Tap. And stay with us. I appreciate you listening, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow at 6 for What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about